Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Plants. Today I'm going to show you how to prune a jade plant, not only for shaping and propagation purposes, but this actually helps strengthen up the main trunk of the plant here as well. So there is no real rule as to how to prune a jade plant. Sometimes people want a plant to be a little bit smaller. Sometimes I go through my plants as they get a little top heavy and just prune off some of the leaves as it's pulling down some of the branches. You don't want it to break or snap. But it just depends all in how you want the plant to look, how you want it to grow. An example is up here. I've previously pruned right there, so it branches off into two sections. So once these stems or these new branches get a little bit longer, then I will cut them back. That's the reason why I want to prune today, is I want this to further, I guess, branch out into more of like a dense tree structure. Basically the perfect time right now, just as spring is around the corner, it's going to be pushing out a lot of new growth here. So I'm going to show you the leaf and stem propagation method, and I also have some other previous projects that I've worked on that I will show you the kind of updated current results of those propagations. I don't have to defoliate this one very much, but you can see this branch is weighing a little bit heavily on this side. So basically what you do is take some nice clean sterile pruning shears, and to remove some of the leaves, just get as close to the stem as you can and just simply cut it off, or you can just grab the leaf and just twist it off like that. This helps drastically with weight reduction, so it'll prevent this branch from, I guess, bending over. So there's a few leaves right down here that I'm actually going to cut off as well, and this will help with reducing the weight or the stress that is placed on these branches. After you're done cutting off the individual leaves, you'll have these little areas where they used to be. Just basically leave this area alone. These little bumps on along the stem here will dry up and fall off, so you don't have to worry about it. It'll take care of itself, like up there too. Like I mentioned a minute ago, there's no real rules about pruning or shaping, but typically what I start with is any, I guess, branches that are growing in a downward fashion, I will cut them off. That again just alleviates some of the weight from these branches. And I'll typically start in areas where it just doesn't look right. So I got this one branch right here. It's bifurcates from the main stem. I like the overall branch, but this piece is just looking a little kind of out of place. I've pruned it previously right here. I'll get in a little closer here in a second. And it's only branched out with one branch here, and it's starting another one from that same leaf node. Okay, just getting it in a little bit closer here, you can see a new stem popping up right there. This section right here, I want to prune it off maybe somewhere right here or here, because I want it to branch out. And again, just have a more dense tree canopy on top. You take your nice clean sterile pruning shears. Where you want to cut is just above, I guess, a set of leaves here. And I think I'm going to maybe right here. Just like that. So eventually, this will start to branch out from this leaf node, and the branches will form on the same side of these leaves. So the new branches will pop out from here, and it will, I guess, bifurcate from this area, continuing to branch out. Okay, the next spot I'm going to prune is this portion right here where it's starting to get kind of long and leggy. So I'm actually going to cut this back to about maybe just up here. Just snip the tops off, and I'm going to cut this one back a little bit further just so that the branch isn't in the same area. I'm going to cut that back right there, something like that. So here's the new cut, and they're at a different height level. So this one will branch out from these two areas. They will basically sprout this way. And actually I might cut this one back just because the leaves are branching out this way. And the new branches will pop out this way, and this one will come out on this side and on the back side. Okay, next I'm going to do at the very top, I'm going to start off with this one here. And don't be scared to prune your jades. I was terrified to prune my original ones, but jades are very resilient. They respond very well to pruning, especially in the spring and summer months. They're just popping out tons of new growth. So I'm going to leave a couple little leaf nodes up here, and I'm going to cut this one off right there. And hopefully I don't get my arms in the way. I'm going to cut this one off up top a little bit higher. Just keep kind of rotating it around, just having a look at it, the overall shape. I'm going to take this branch right here, and I'm going to cut this one back maybe right here. get a whole section like this. Just set that off to the side for now. Over here, I'm going to do the same. So it's getting kind of a longer stem. I don't want it to get really long and then start branching out, because that's when you get really kind of top heavy. So if you cut it back, it'll help strengthen this portion of the stem kind of all the way down, and hopefully support that tree as it continues to grow. So I'm going to cut this one back to right here. These little, I guess, lines along the stem, you can see them kind of all the way down. These are leaf nodes or leaf lines. So as you can see, there is a leaf that has popped out from the leaf line on this side, but one must have fallen off or got knocked off on this side. But usually there is two kind of on opposite sides of each other. Where can I find a good example? Like up top here. Again, here's another leaf line, leaf node, and it pushes out two leaves. One section of leaves will be this way, then the next one will be kind of the opposite, so that it fills in nicely and I guess optimizes photosynthesis for the plant as it continues to grow. Okay, so I made the cut here. This one I'm going to go just maybe a little bit higher, just kind of snip off the top. You don't have to do like super aggressive prunes, just enough to kind of snip the top off and just help the, like I said, the plant to continue to branch and also strengthen the stem. And this one here, you can see again, it's getting pretty long. So I'm going to cut this one back, and maybe this one I'll do a little bit higher. Just something like that. Once you're pruning, it might start to look a little bit on the bare side, like up here. It looks like you just literally hacked this tree up, but I promise you, it will fill in, it will grow back. It's just a temporary, I guess, appearance until it starts to grow. Again, this one I'm going to cut back. I'm just looking at the direction of the leaves, because I don't want branches, I guess, getting entangled in one another. So I'm going, if I cut right here, there's going to be a branch that's kind of spouts off on this side and one on this side, and it will eventually, I guess, get entangled with this section right here. I'm actually going to come up a little bit higher and cut right here, just so the new branches will kind of sprout the other way and fill in this kind of bare section that I'm just noticing right now. So I'm going to cut this one right here. So this will produce branches this way, and then I'm going to cut this one up here. And so it'll produce branches this way. So I'll get kind of multi-directional branches this way, and this way, and it should fill in kind of the top area. Okay, I think I pruned off there's a couple smaller branches, but I pruned off the main branches. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far. And like I said, guys, trust me, when pruning it, it will look bare for a little bit, but this will help obviously shape and strengthen the trunk and branches for the long term. Okay, I sorted out some of the leaf cuttings and some of the stem cuttings here. And for these stem cuttings, if you have a section like this, all you do is remove some of the lower leaves. Just cut them right off. I'm going to come up to around this size. Let these ends callus over for a few days. Again, these little fresh cuts will dry up and fall off as well. So set this aside for a few days, let the ends kind of harden over, and then you can just literally stick it right back in the soil. So I'm going to cut a few of these off again, just like that. Just want a section of the stem that will be able to hold itself up in some soil. You can see there's about a dozen stem cuttings and even more leaves. This plant right here, this is about a year old. These were all individual stem cuttings from about this size. I just let them callus over, and I literally just got a pot with some soil and just made holes in it and stuck these stem cuttings in there. And yeah, a year later, this is what it turns into, a nice full pot of jade stems. So now with these individual leaf cuttings, all you would do is get a little saucer of soil. I got some previous videos of that, of how to do it, but literally you just, again, let the ends callus over and then just lay them down in a pot of soil. And you can see right here, these are I got 2 jade leaves right here. The rest are these Echeveria purpureorums. And you can see it is sprouting into its own, I guess, new stem. And then I'll show you over here. This container, These were all previous leaf cuttings, and this is probably about, I would say, 13, 14 months to get to this stage. So it has taken that long to get to a stem this size just by these single individual leaf cuttings just from a pile like this. So that's gonna be pretty much it for this jade pruning and propagation video. If you have any comments or questions about anything I've done in this video, please leave it down in the comment section below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I think some of my favorite comments, like I keep saying, are the ones that when you guys watch my videos and learn something from it, and like I said, for the first time, you know, chopping up your own jade plant or whatever it is, and you let me know how that process went for you. Those are some of my most favorite comments. So thanks again for the support. Thanks for watching this video. Take care, everyone. Bye.